Today we are talking about why you should not feel guilty about not writing. And I am Morgan Gist McDonald. I'm a writing coach and editor and author, and I help you write a book from initial idea to first draft to finished manuscript. The whole shebang, get your message out there and in clear and compelling language. And I run my business and my blog out of paperravenbooks.com. So just so you'll know a little bit about me, let's talk about the guilt trips that we send ourselves on. So we all do this, right? Where we have these great ideas about, oh, I'm going to write all of this on this weekend, or this week I'm going to write so many number of words and whatever. And something happens. The kids get a stomach bug, like what happened with me this last weekend. Or, something crazy happens at work, or you get a phone call and suddenly you're on a plane to LA. Who knows? Like, things happen. And we need to stop feeling guilty about the fact that life happens, because what you're doing is you're creating a negative energy around your writing. Thanks for the hearts, guys. Yeah, if you guys are new to Periscope, when something resonates with you and you're like, oh, I totally feel that, that's awesome, tap hearts, just literally like on the screen, tap, tap, tap. That lets me know that you're engaged and what I'm telling you is helpful. So hey David, thanks for popping in. Yeah, as y'all are coming in, put your name and where you're coming in from the chat and what you write. Hi, David. Yes. So when you have those feelings of, I should have written X number of words this weekend, or I have to write on Wednesday morning, and you set this like ultimatum for yourself, if you don't achieve that, hello everyone. If you don't achieve that, then you start to judge yourself and say, oh, you're not worthy. You're not good enough. And it's almost like there's this person standing outside of you saying, you, like, I'm not even myself anymore. I'm like judging myself, like, you should have done this and you're not good enough. And immediately you have this like negative reaction, like, oh, maybe I don't like this writing thing so much. And so we need to get around that. We need to allow ourselves to push away from that guilt message, because it's not doing you any good. Right? Okay, if our end goal is to write a book or write a blog or write an article, whatever it is you're writing, if your end goal is to produce this written, finished piece, that guilt is actually not going to help you get from point A to point B, right? So what is going to help you get from point A to point B? Reframe. You got to reframe, guys. Thanks for the hearts. Yeah, if any of this resonates with you, tap hearts on the screen. That lets me know. What's my name? I can do a quick... what does Alex Pettit call it? He calls it like a restart button. I'm Morgan Gist McDonald. I'm a writing coach and editor and author, and I run my business out of paperravenbooks.com. I help authors write their book from initial idea to first draft to finished manuscript and ready to publish it. So that's what I do, and I'm here to help you write whatever it is you're writing. Books are my specialty, but obviously I do a lot of blogging and articles and essays, and it's all about getting that written word out on the page and into the world, right? So the guilt is not going to help you get from blank page to finished draft, right? What is going to help you? When you start to feel those emotions of guilt, I'm going to recommend that you shift out of that by two things. Sorry. I'm sort of looking at my notes and I didn't write my notes in a very cohesive way. By the way, if you don't want to take notes because you're eating lunch or whatever, I do take notes. I'm going to have to reformat these notes because it didn't make sense to me, but I take notes for you and I post them on my website. So let me show you where that is in case you have to jump. But just go over to paperravenbooks.com/periscope. And that is where you'll see all of the notes and replays and transcripts later. So paperravenbooks.com/periscope. Yes, and I share notes with you guys so that you can always come back and reference later. So 2 things to shift out of that guilt mode. Okay, so 1 is to remind yourself, I'm not writing for writing's sake. The writing is supposed to help me do something else. So what is that something else that you're doing? Are you writing a book so that you can leave your 9-to-5 job and live as an author? Are you writing essays so that they'll be published in a magazine and will change someone's life? Are you writing just to reach the world with your message and your story? So what is that ultimate goal of your writing? So when we focus too much on just the word count and how many words we're producing each day or each week, sometimes it's easy to make the words feel kind of like your enemy. But the words are not your enemy. The words are just a stepping stone to your greater goal. So remind yourself, what is that greater goal? And instead of saying, I should write today, say, if I write today, that will get me one step closer to ultimate goal. So let's say I'm writing a book and my goal is 5,000 words in a week. I'm not going to tell myself I have to write 5,000 words or I'm a loser. I'm going to instead reframe that and say, if I write 5,000 words this week, I'll be one step closer to getting more clients through my book. Okay? So we're not putting writing as the end goal. We're putting writing back in its place as the stepping stone. So, and starting the sentence with, if I do this writing, it's not a must, it's a choice. I recognize that. It's something that I want to do. If I do this writing, if I write 5,000 words this week, I will be one step closer to this awesome, amazing goal that I have. And isn't that a whole lot better feeling? Okay, so you're not going to put yourself on a guilt trip. You're going to remind yourself that this writing is getting you to your next ultimate goal. All right, so that was step number 1. Step number 2 is celebrate the progress that you have made. And this is really hard for us sometimes. I know I am not good at celebrating progress. I am always like, I'm on the go, type A, I'm getting to my next step, I'm climbing the ladder, whatever. I've got progress things to check off, okay? But sometimes we've got to stop. We've got to say, okay, I have done some good things. Let's review. So write down. And I always think writing is really important when you're doing this mental processing. So I always recommend writing lists. Even if you don't do anything with a list, you write down the list and then you throw it away, whatever. But actually writing it or typing it out helps you to process it better. So write down 5 ways that you have made progress in your writing project so far. So let's say you're writing a book. Your 5 ways of celebrating could be, number 1, I started. That is a celebration to say that I actually started putting words down on paper. Celebration number 2, I have written 3,000 words. That's not a lot of words, but that's okay. It is a great start, and that is something to celebrate. Number 3, I have an idea of where this book is going. That is also a celebration. Number 4, I am now writing on a regular basis. Maybe it's not every day. That's totally fine. I'm writing on a regular basis. That is celebration. And then number 5, maybe that one could be, I told someone about the book. And that's a huge step for a lot of us, is telling someone about the book. So that's an example of 5 ways that you could celebrate your writing progress. I wrote down 5 of my own. I have actually thank you. Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for the hearts. I've actually finished writing my book. It's on Amazon now. So I'm kind of gear shifting into, actually I'm a bit confused. I'm writing multiple long projects right now and I need to focus. So here are some things that I wrote as my celebration. And they're a little bit scattered because honestly right now I'm a little bit scattered, but I'm working on focusing in, and so we're going to celebrate and then move forward. So my 5 celebrations are, 1, I have systematized writing for my blog. So blogging used to take hours every week, now it takes a few hours every month. That's a huge celebration for me. Number 2, I'm free writing every week. I sit down, it's not every day, but I sit down several times a week for 20 minutes and I just write because I feel like it. And that's really fun and worth celebrating. Number 3, I am brainstorming my next book. Yep, I have not really written anything yet, but I have notes. They are somewhere in the world. I don't know where they are, but there are notes out there and they exist. And so that's a start and it counts and I'm going to celebrate that. Number 4, I have started writing my course. So I'm writing a course about how to write a book because that's what I do with authors. I help authors write their books. And so now instead of one-on-one coaching, I'll have courses too. So I will celebrate that I have written Module 1, Part 1. Not a lot, but we're getting there. We're making progress. And then number 5, I'm using webinars to help me get further along in my writing course. So actually I'm having one this week. But anyway, so those are just small celebrations. I haven't written an entire course or a whole book, but I've made progress. And so what I would like for you guys to walk away with today is that anytime you feel that guilt is not going to help you put more words on the page. That guilt is going to create a barrier between you and putting words on the page. So stop looking at words on the page as something that you have to do, because it's not the writing that will get you your next step in life. There's something more important. Yes, exactly. Progress is important. What's your name, Mig? Or maybe it is Mig. Maybe it's Miguel. I can look at your profile. It is Miguel. I guessed right. Hey, Miguel. I've seen you before. I've seen you on here before. Thank you. Exactly. So progress is important, and celebrating that progress. Miguel, thank you. And celebrating that progress is important. I love these little emoticons on Periscope. They crack me up. So when you start to feel that guilt for not having written, work around it. Reframe. Say, if I write 5,000 words this week, I will be closer to my ultimate goal. And then celebrate 5 ways that you have made progress in your writing. So that's it for today, guys. That's our lunchtime Periscope on writing. So I want you to go. Actually, it's kind of late, isn't it? It's like 12:45 Central Time. Sorry, kind of late today. It was a slow start. We were sick all weekend. It was like, I'm not going to feel guilty about Periscoping late. It's all good. It's fine. Who knows what time you guys are? You might be like midnight for all I know. But wherever you are, I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate you spending a little time listening with me. If you like to listen to people, especially me, talk about writing, because I love to talk about writing, I Periscope every day around lunchtime, Central Time. Thanks, Miguel. Yeah, you're welcome. And so hit the little Perry buddy, follow me, and we'll talk about writing some more. Last week was all about writing tools. So geeking out on Google Docs and Scrivener and apps and stuff like that. So if you want to see more of that, go to paperravenbooks.com/periscope. This week is going to be all about motivation. And so this is how you get your mind in gear for really putting the words out on the page. So that's what we're talking about. And I do have a webinar on Wednesday. It's going to be awesome. Let me give you the link real quick in case you want to hop on. Flip. paperravenbooks.com. Come on, focus. It's not focusing. I'm sorry. /5 habits. Because the webinar is about the 5 essential habits you need to be a successful author. These are the 5 habits that I always talk about with the authors when I first sign them on when we start writing their book. These are foundational to kicking procrastination and get it going on your Word account. So paperravenbooks.com/5 habits. It's going to be super fun. This is honestly some of the best advice that I have for authors, so I'm glad to be giving it away for you guys. And I will see you tomorrow, if not sooner. So go do some writing. Don't feel guilty. Remind yourself progress is good. Celebrate that progress and remind yourself of that goal that you're really reaching for. And I will talk to you guys later. Goodbye.